Hello, I'm Chris Bombolas. Thanks for joining us for the 1988 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Your commentators will be Steve Mackey and Terry Winband. And we're into the business end of the tournament. It's the ladies' semi-final between third seed Jeanette Baker-Flynn, the defending champion, and Dana Miller from Albuquerque in the USA.
And Dana Miller, the first to bowl, left-handed woman, the only one we've seen in the women's division.
Good confident start there by Dana. She's a great player. This will be a super match.
Yes, it certainly should be. She got the ball out well on the first shot there and jumps just where she wanted it to. 10 in the pit.
Jeanette Baker-Flynn, a host of tournament victories, including the Sydney Open between 83 and 88 and World Cups in 82 and 83.
One got away from it just a little bit there, Terry.
Yeah, she's doing the same thing as she did before. She's just sending it out, letting the lane bring it back, but that one just didn't quite bring back. Just see, she lost her footing a little bit at the foul line, causing her to push it a little.
Okay, 3 pins to go for Jeanette's opening frame spare. Oh, good spare. That'll give her a lot of confidence. That was a good break for Jeanette Baker-Flynn then. We'll have another look at the spare. The ball's floating down in the oil in the middle of the lane. Just comes back enough to touch the 4-pin, nudges it as it goes through.
Yeah, she did the same thing both shots, give the ball a lot of air, just didn't come back a little bit. I think she'll be feeling the tension out here playing Dana. Yeah, well, stayed in that ball a little bit too long. That's a couple of loose shots from Jeanette. And again, this is going to be a good, tough match. I think Dana really has the capabilities to do some high scoring here.
Well, it's a semi-final. It's always tight in these semi-final matches. We've seen some close matches all the way through the series, and the women's semi-final is entitled to be close and hard fought. A couple of pins to get for Jeanette's spare.
Safely negotiates that one.
Jeanette there talking to herself. That ball flattened out well to the 6-pin. The ball hit both pins. Good thinking. Dana Miller now.
Dana Miller, the 1983 US Open winner, 6 major pro titles, over 40 other titles, and the highest 5-game TV total in history, 1232.
Oh, lucky break there for Dana. She could have left the 7 and the 10 pins with those two, but they both went. We'll have a look at that.
Yeah, Dana didn't stay in a shot then. She twitched sideways after she threw the ball, which means she's slightly out of balance, got the ball a little bit too far out. See there? She just went down trying to get composed. Got the break. 7-pin falling.
Well covered. Both of the women getting spares in the second frame. The difference too. The leader is Dana Miller on your screen now from Albuquerque, USA. A high game of 300, Chris, and she's had that 8 times. She's not going to get one in this game.
Oh, a fantastic effort here. And, of course, in the seeding tournament, these two both shot highs of 233, so there'll be nothing in it today.
No, if that's any indication, that's right. And they're very equally matched age-wise. 32 years of age, Dana Miller, 33 for Jeanette.
That was a nice shot. That was great. Shows some power. You'll see this shot. She gets the ball right out on the lane. Ball comes back with a lot of good roll. Pin sails across, takes it out.
Look at the effort that she exerts.
You can see all the weight there on a foot at the foul. That's good leverage.
Jeanette now looking for a strike to counter. Good shot by her. Great reply. Still 2 pins the difference. Both of them with strikes in the 3rd frame. What a good ball this was.
Yes, Steve, both of these players are excellent technique players.
So 3 frames down and only 2 pins in it between Jeanette Baker-Flynn and Dana Miller.
Anywhere from 52 to 80 lanes. So when I came to Australia, I think one of the biggest differences is that the bowling centers seem smaller And that was an adjustment. Most of the centers in the States have a very large concourse area, and over here in Australia, the bowlers, it seems more of a home type atmosphere as opposed to a business type atmosphere. So that took some getting used to. As far as the Australian bowlers, they seem to have a better camaraderie about getting along and team bowling and individual bowling more so than the States bowlers. The States bowlers are more competitive, more individually oriented.
Jeanette Baker-Flynn to bowl in this, the fourth frame, coming off a strike.
And what a strike it was. Ripped the 5 into the left-hand wall. She'd be hoping to make a double. Good shot.
Yeah, it was a good reply. A little high.
Maybe just a little bit too slow, perhaps, at the release point.
I think so, yeah. I think she really wanted to put this one away, try to get in front, put some pressure on Dana, but you can see here, little tentative. Back heel slipped away.
Yes, a little bit behind the foul line too. Not quite as much oomph at the release.
Oh, there it is again, I think, Steve. That ball just taking off at the end when they ease up on the spare shot. In this game here today, you cannot ease up on any shot whatsoever.
No, that's amazing. I had spare just about put into our computer program scorecard here in front of us, and look at that. That is unbelievable, and she can't believe it either.
Yeah.
Well, that's given Dana a little bit of breathing space. She'd like to put her head on that strike in the third. It's not going to make it back.
No, actually one thing you'll notice here with Dana is, as compared to the Australian players, is that the Australian players get a lot more aggressive physically than Dana. She's very much the technique player. That ball went exactly the same place as the previous shot. You'll find out here today that what she's aiming at, she won't miss. Whereas occasionally the Australian players will.
You're trying to send the 1 pin across the lane.
Again, that ball looking good and just running away.
So 4 frames down, and it's neck and neck, 66 pins apiece. So nothing in it as we predicted.
Yes, and dragging the ball just a little bit right of the mark that she would like to have hit. And she's up now, top of the 5th. She's hit this lane twice. Not this time, though.
No, I thought she'd get a strike there. She hit it twice. She looked good on that lane, but that shot, she just came straight up. As you can see, there's more forward roll on the ball. The ball didn't grab middle of the lane. Just sailed by at the back end. But what a great play. Look at this great style, Steve. It's big, deep knee bend, arm right through. You can't play the game much better.
Oh, yes! Great spare in the 5th frame for Dana Miller, sparing the washout to keep her in touch with Jeanette Baker-Flynn, the defending champion in the Coca-Cola Classic. Have a look at this one again. Just had enough ball on the 1 pin to push it into the gutter and bounce it back out again.
Yes, Steve, also, you'll notice that when she went for that spare that time, she forward rolled the ball more. There's Jeanette hoping to get away with a loose shot, but takes 9.
Yeah, she's going to have to keep her head down on the spares. That last ball of hers where she missed the 4 pin, that would have given her a bit of a fright. And again, the pin in the middle of the deck. You know, what's she doing here? I think she's moved out just a little bit, perhaps, Terry, on the approach. She might have moved right.
Yes, she has. Yes, she tried to do something. It's always a wise move in any sort of situation where you have to make quick adjustments. Leaving that 5 pin, you can quite often practice a new shot for a strike by moving around, because you have to play the same shot to pick up the spare.
Watch the way this one runs now.
Yep,
oh,
and
boy.
the bush just takes off.
She wasn't real keen on that either.
No, she has to get this shot right out. Just got it.
Just a little bit less speed. I've seen her carry a couple of Brooklyns here at Capalaba in the seeding tournament, and during the practice session. Just a little bit too slow caused this pin to jump around the back of the 6. We'll see it now. Jumps around the back of the 6, doesn't kick out of the gutter to take the 6 pin with the 10.
Yes, definitely. She's played that shot a little tentative. She's tried to finesse the shot, and finessing the shot out here today, I don't believe will work. She's got to be a lot more aggressive.
Just pulled it inside again. Unbelievable.
Yeah, when you see players of this calibre missing single pins by so far, you've really got to question something. They're difficult conditions out there. They are not easy. And look at that. Ball just runs away.
I think the pressure of the situation too, telling on both of these ladies. The loser of the match gets $1,000. The winner gets $1,500. But more importantly, a chance to win the trip to Las Vegas with Qantas and $3,000. Babying the shot. Got away with what she would consider a dreadful strike.
Yes, Steve, as you can see, she pulls the shot, looks at it, says, oh, what an awful shot. Sees the result. They all fall over. You know, pull the ball there, bolt it more forward, roll the ball a bit more, try and keep it more direct.
So 6 frames down, and Dana Miller from the United States leads Jeanette Baker-Flynn from South Australia by just 2 pins. He's just in front and coming off a strike, so important to take advantage of that.
Wants a double. This one's a better shot. Good shot.
I think right now, as you can see, she thought that was a good shot. She's going to start to wonder in a minute what she's got to do to get a double. Good ball. Ball comes in. Bang. Weak 7. Well, Steve, that's 3 balls she's used so far in the match. She's used 1 for strikes, 1 for spares on the right-hand side of the lane, and another 1 for spares on the left-hand side of the lane.
Yes, and that one there, very, very hard ball. I think that's about 90 on the durometer scale.
Definitely hard plastic.
Aggression there by Jeanette. Almost paid off for her. That was a good, positive shot by Jeanette Baker-Flynn. 12 pins behind in the 6th frame. She needs the spare to stay 12 behind. Look at this shot, a good hit.
This is a good shot. This is really what she's been trying to do all match, and it was the first ball she's got into it. She thought it was a great shot. But just rang that 10 pin there. But she must cover this. She's got to cover this spare.
Oh, good spare too. Both good spares, those 2 ladies leaving wraps in the 7th frame, and both of them covering the single corner pins with consummate ease.
Yeah, she got that ball well out on the lane that time. She was aggressive. She wanted to knock it right out of the place.
Yes, right in the belly, as you can see. And now Jeanette, top of the 8th for her. She needs a strike to stay 12 pins behind. Oh, just trying a little bit too hard to place the ball instead of just let it flow through.
You've got to get right through the ball and release through the ball. Similarly in a golf swing, if you don't get right through the ball, you lose everything. You can't baby the shot. You can't put the ball there. You've got to bowl it there.
Yes, and she's a long way behind the line, Terry. I don't know if I've ever seen her quite that far behind the foul line when she lets the ball go.
That's quite interesting. You're right there, Steve. It's unusual for her.
Good spare. Oh, it's tough, those corner pin spares today. We've already seen Jeanette have a couple of errors there, and now Dana Miller in the 8th frame after this spare by Jeanette. A strike will give her a lead now of 14 pins. Looks like she's hit this lane. Oh, yes, and has she hit it well?
That was a nice shot. You know, she's starting to get lined up now. She's starting to realise what she has to do here, and she'll go about the job.
Well, that's the first time she's looked like doing anything on that lane. She's missed the head pin a couple of times, and then she had that very wayward Brookline. But there, the animation of Dana Miller.
She's realising she's got to play more direct and just play down the lane and not try and do too much with the ball. But as you can see, the facial expressions there, not the aggression that everyone else has.
Well, she sat down in the playing area, thought about it, got up and did it. And what a good double that was.
As you'll see there, she played a lot wider on that lane and swung the ball more. Now let's see what Jeanette can do. There's another great shot from Jeanette. Played it wider.
Yeah, and what a good ball. We'll have a look at that 8 pin there in replay. She got it out well on the lane, and here it comes right in the hole. Oh, was it right in the hole? That 8 pin, the last to go. Well-controlled, aggressive shot by Jeanette Baker Flynn. She's down on one knee, pulling the string. There they go.
So 9 frames down. In this, the ladies' semi-final of the 1988 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Dana Miller has the upper hand over Jeanette Baker Flynn. Welcome back to the 1988 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Jeanette Baker Flynn trailing by 23 pins. Really needs a big finish to put the pressure on Dana Miller.
Got to be a strike. Oh, dear. Well, she's not out of it yet, but that makes it just a little bit more difficult for the defending champion.
Yes, if you'll see there, she played a different type of shot. She's put the ball down early and floated the ball out to the right, and it never came back. Playing that lane differently than the other lane, too. Completely different angle into the pins.
Needs to cover the spare. Yes. Oh, and that's a nasty little spare. That's a nasty piece of work here because her ball's turning so far at the end that the ball could have run away. We'll have a look at it now. It could run away and leave the 8 pin, but she got it just in the nick of time.
Yes, that spares posed problems to everybody during the tournament, but well covered.
Needs a strike now for 172.
No, she's just played that one wrong. Tried something a little different, I think, on that shot, and couldn't believe the result.
No, just a 7 count, 169 for her, and it won't be enough against Dana Miller. Dana has the upper hand. She stays clean with a spare strike for 190 something. This goes all the way for 216 or opens for 180.
There we go again, Steve. As I said before, she's just lining herself up. She just takes her time, goes about the job. She knows exactly what to do with herself all the time. And this is a big difference with the American players. They practice so much, they're so much more disciplined, and they just go about the job.
Well, Dana's a very disciplined bowler. She goes out and practices a lot. She does aerobics to keep fit. She jogs, runs. Quite a sports lady. Looking for another strike. That's a 4-bagger. The highest game in the women's division so far will come from the hands of the left-handed hands of Dana Miller.
Another great shot, 10 in the pit. You can't do any better.
Hung up again in the ball. 7 count, all academic. A 2-13 game for Dana Miller. She wins the semi-final against Jeanette Baker Flynn by 44 pins.
So there it is, the defending champion, Jeanette Baker Flynn, unfortunately bows out in the battle of our guest commentators. She picks up $1,000 compliments of Coca-Cola. Dana Miller, the winner, plays Victorian Leanne Moyle in the ladies' final of the Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Our next telecast match, though, is a men's round 12 that brings together Victorian Ian Bradford up against the defending men's champion, Tom Curry, the defending champion here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.